Welcome to Big Beard and Friends, episode 284. Listen, guys. First and foremost, as I say week after week after week, I hope that you heal from what you don't talk about. There's so many people that walk around behind that guise of a smile, making you believe that everything is okay, or they believe everything is okay. The fact of the matter is, most of the time it's not. Whether we talk about it, whether we want to talk about it or not, things are happening to each and every one of us every time we turn around. And life is not a competition. Those who think it is, I'm sorry. Sometimes we believe things that aren't true, and then the things that are true we don't believe. It's the opposite. It seems to be whatever we got going on, there's always something else going on that's going to make you think that you're not doing what you're supposed to do. All these things come down to stuff you probably do not talk about, and that hurts you, and you have that open, metaphorically speaking, wound. So I hope that wound heals. And anything that you're going through, understand it will pass. I speak from experience. No, not everything I've went through, you've went through, and everything you've went through, I have went through. No, it doesn't work that way, and I get it. But see, there's a lot of people that listen to the wrong people. There's a lot of people who think this way and think that way, and it's right and it's wrong and it's wrong and it's right, and they got this. And the fact of the matter is, well, it kind of takes me into tonight. What I want to talk about. On this Friday, I want to talk about an empty head and a full mouth. Now listen, I don't want to step on people's toes. Perhaps it will. I'm not trying to do that. But when you think of an empty head and a full mouth, what do you think of? I'm going to give you a few seconds. Empty head, full mouth, what do you truly think of? All right, well, it's someone who is unintelligent or foolish, empty-headed. That's what that means, Yet they talk a good deal, which is that full mouth. But they often are saying like silly or unnecessary things for no reason. There's nothing, and I don't mean, I kind of resemble that remark, right? But look, folks. That phrase highlights that contrast between a lack of wisdom and an excessive chatter. Some people just are not that way. You can call it judging. We'll talk about that perspective maybe in another episode. But, that person speaks so much, but they have little substance to offer. You can say all you want, but when it comes down to things, there's nothing to know from them. There's nothing to gain from them. And it doesn't mean you may hate a person. It doesn't mean, you can do, let's break this down for a moment, okay? You take empty-headed, right? Empty head, and that describes that someone lacking in intelligence, correct? Knowledge or thoughtful ideas, right? Right? And if they have a full mouth, what would you think the full mouth is? It's referring to someone that talks excessively, often with loud or unnecessary words. And I don't mean like people you hang out with and you go, hey, that's him, or hey, that's her. Or, oh man, my mom or my dad says this or this does this. Heck, I relate to tonight's topic probably more than a lot of people. But I don't like to think that I'm unintelligent. How often I have said about myself that I am not ignorant, but I might be dumb. Meaning, I might not know something or be dumb to the fact of something, and I'm saying it wrong and incorrect, you know, but I'm not ignorant enough to say, oh, you're wrong. I don't want to, if I don't know anything, I can't argue it, right? If you don't experience or go through something or have some kind of situation that you've been in before, how do you talk about that? I guess there really are people in this world that go around and truly, well, for lack of better words, they truly bullshit people. I don't know how you can have a conversation. Like, I can be in a room and everybody can be talking. If you don't see me talking, I probably don't know what the hell they're talking about or can't relate. And if I do, I add just a little bit of this big conversation that they are in. It makes me feel like I don't belong here. I guess when it comes, and I'm reading these things and I'm understanding this as I look it up online, when combined, that the phrase points to an individual who's foolish or brainless when you think about it, right? We know a lot of people that are truly, truly, truly that way. Not someone who likes to get attention or someone who likes to be comedic and humorous and just make you laugh to break the ice. Not necessarily that, but if you're empty-headed, you make these foolish decisions, okay? And we have had these experiences. All of us have been empty head and full mouth. If not, you know someone who has. But see, when they're empty-headed and they make foolish decisions, then they're full mouth for chattering about those decisions without any real understanding. I'm telling you, folks, tonight this one hit me hard, and I chose to talk about it. It's one of those things where you don't realize how many people, I mean, you do, but you might not, how many people are affected by things like this. Or I used to call it intimidation. If I spit some facts out during something that's relatable to something that's happening, and I'll be like, say we're around some goats, and all of a sudden I have goats, and I'll be like, oh, hey, did you know, blah, 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 blah. I'm just making this up. And they will say, oh, yeah, man, hey, I didn't know that, or I'll remember this next time. Every now and then I've got some smartasses who are like, well, thanks. If we're ever in the goat field, we'll remember the useless fact that you said, whatever. Maybe they didn't understand what it meant. I don't know. Maybe people are different. Maybe people really are mean to each other in such ways where you feel like you're ignorant to some things. I don't know. What does empty... if you want to empty your head anyway, if you want to empty your head, not be empty-headed, you need to, let's look at that for a moment. Don't get that confused, empty, my head is not as empty-headed. Empty your head means to try to, do your best not to think about something, to clear that out of your mind and do with that. But we're talking about empty-headed, brainless, where they have no clue. You may even call it common sense, folks. And the full mouth is someone who is very talkative. Now, once again, I relate to all this. I have been in these shoes. People that know me will say, look, he's talking about himself the whole night. This whole show's him. He did this. And right now, they're probably making fun. I don't care about that. Anytime I talk excessively, I probably have a message or talk from experience or feel like I need to or am compelled to share something because I feel like, if I talk about that, maybe people relate to it and they'll go, hey, okay, let's try that approach. Let's do this. I don't know. Everybody is different. I'm not out to say I'm better than nobody. I'm not out to say that I'm trying to be this or that. I will tell you that just because you are a talkative person, in one sense, that full mouth describes that person, okay? But in another sense, while it's describing, it makes you think, well, wait a minute, they might have something to say. Empty head, full mouth. Good topic, good topic. If you think about certain things, that empty head, when you really think about it, will get you nowhere. Okay? Now, some of this is common sense. Some of this you're going to say, Big Beard, we know what you're saying. You don't know what you're saying. It's not hard to explain. But to some people, it's hard to fathom. Oh, I know a lot, but I got it up here. Oh, I say, no. You may even say they lack common sense, which is what, I would say that. I would say sometimes people lack common sense a lot. You can easily look at somebody and dismiss them for being, oh, they're dumb or they're stupid, or would you look at that jackass? Oh, look at that dumbass. I'm saying. But they may have that as well, empty head, full mouth, or could it be you? It could be reversed. When once again, when it's all combined, you got brainless and a chatterbox. So somebody who talks too much and somebody who doesn't make the best of decisions because they can't think. So I guess in short, I'm saying, let's do our part to try to fix one another. Talk to someone. Talk to somebody about what's going on. Literally, get things off your chest. Make a chatterbox to a point a good thing. The problem is a lot of folks don't know how to tell people what they know. They don't know, they know information, but they don't know how to get it out. It's almost like they ascertained it over the years in life, but they can't reciprocate it. They can't give it back. I tend to be that person who gives you facts, right? Who tells you, oh, did you know? But I do this at my jobs. I do this around family functions. I do this at my house. And I get a lot of friction for it. I do. They either correct me or want to correct me, say they don't care. Some people are just like, oh, well, aren't you special? And my favorite response is no, but if you ever go on a game show, you can call me. I don't know. Look, all these topics tonight are simply just that, topics, not meant to offend anyone. But once again, empty head, full mouth. Think about that. Do your own research. I just wanted to bring it to you as I talk about everything under the sun, including the sun, here at Big Beard and Friends. Look, that's all I got for you. I'm going to tell you right now, I hope you enjoy your weekend. Have a great Labor Day weekend. And I think Monday is Labor Day coming up. So listen, what are those three words that I say this every show? I say this. Love, peace, chicken grease. Later, guys. And thanks for watching.
Presentations.